Okay. All right. Coming off the bye week, it's been a good situation for us here the last 2 days. Gave them Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. Guys were able to get out on the road, and assistant coaches could be able to get out and recruit. Really happy with how recruiting is going right now. The reception out there has been very good. The team, our theory and motivation on this is to get them away from everything Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come back Sunday night. We had a great day yesterday. Typically give them a Monday off, but today was a no school day because of fall break. Today is no school because of fall break, so it plays into our hand on being able to get ready to play Texas Tech, which had a good day yesterday with that, and had meetings and another lift this morning to be able to get them ready as well. So they've done what I've asked them to do once again, which come back in the right frame of mind and be energetic and be excited about the task at hand. And the task at hand is once again tough. We didn't play very well the last Big 12 game that we played. Good news is we get to get out there and have a chance to redeem ourselves against another top 20 opponent that's undefeated. I think this is the fourth time that we've played a undefeated team. Fourth time in the Big 12, I guess, that we played an undefeated and ranked team. So the challenge is large, but I can assure you that we are up for the challenge, and we will put our best foot forward here this week, not only in preparation, but on game day at Saturday. I would expect a very festive atmosphere in Morgantown on Saturday. I don't know why that wouldn't be the case. I would assume everybody would be excited about getting to the game on Saturday at noon. We've done this, I guess, this 3 other times. This will be the 4th time that we have went through the routine of a Friday, Saturday where we play a noon game. So we'll be prepared for that. Do think our team will be prepared for what Texas Tech brings to the table. Offensively, something that we know very well, obviously, with my history with Cliff and what he's done offensively, how he operates offensively. We're both cut from the same cloth, so we're going to know what they do offensively. Whether we can stop it is obviously going to be the challenge. They play very high, very up-tempo. They're very high energy. They're playing with guys that are used to playing in that type of an offense. When he got there, he inherited a group that had a lot of experience at receiver, running back, and O-line that have played in this type of a system. So he brings something different to the table from an energy standpoint and a technique point of view that gets across to these guys to be able to play with tremendous confidence and tremendous energy. Defensively, I thought they were decent last year. They slipped as the year went on. It is new coaches defensively. It's a new scheme defensively. They're executing at a very high level. I don't think it's ironic that what they do defensively resembles what we do defensively, because it's tough to coach against. It's tough for the spread offenses to coach against the 3-4 defense, which is why we do it here defensively. So, the fronts will all be the same. There'll be some different concepts in the coverages and stuff, but they got about 8 returning starters on defense, 7 or 8. A lot of the same guys that we played against last year, just in a little bit different scheme. So we'll be familiar with them. They'll be familiar with us. It should be a great battle in Morgantown, and we're really looking forward to the challenge. So with that, we'll take some questions.
A lot of people use the open week for a self-scout opportunity. Did you do that? As you look maybe for yourself, what did you find out?
Yeah. I mean, everybody does that to a certain extent. We looked at it like everybody does to try to develop tendencies. Offensively, we've been subpar at everything, so there's really no tendencies. The only tendency is we're not great at anything. So we looked at it very closely. We have identified as coaches, kind of what we do well, what we don't do well, what the direction of our offense is going, where it's going, who needs to play, who doesn't need to play. We're we're not shifting guys around as much as we have. So do kind of understand what our personality is offensively, and now we just got to get good at it. We got to gain some confidence. We got to make some plays. We got to continue to try to get better at the small things that we're asking them to do. And then once that happens, I mean, it's going to at some point, pick up some speed, pick up some steam in order to be able to look a little bit better to the human eye, which is points. I mean, we've done a decent job of making plays, moving the ball. We haven't done a good job of scoring points, which is obviously a problem. And it's my job to get us there. I've said it from since media days back, long before the season started. We've got a lot of inexperienced guys that have never played football. Not an excuse to not be productive, and that's my job to get us there.
What did you see out of the defense last week? Kind of bouncing back from Baylor and their mentality, their ability to get right back to it.
Well, yeah, they overcame that. I mean, kids are resilient. I've said that before. I mean, it was a poor performance defensively. It was a poor performance offensively. It was. You say what it is. It was a little bit of a buzzsaw that Baylor played extremely well. I can't sit there and dwell on it for forever. So you had to put that one to rest and had to get back out there and keep working. So that's what we did, and we expect to have a lot better performance defensively on Saturday.
Best part of your bye week?
A lot. Big, fast, strong, blocks well, runs well, catches well. Pretty good. What year is he? Hopefully he's gone next year. Yeah, hopefully he should come out. Clearly should come out after his junior year. He's what he did to us last year. We injured him, so he was kind of on the shelf the rest of the year. But then this year he's been hard to contain ever since. So we saw it up close and personal last year. He's a guy that can do a lot of different things with, creates a tremendous amount of mismatches for not only us last year, but everybody they've played since then while he's been healthy. So I don't know how you stop him. You try to cover him. You try to double cover him, and then it opens up for some of their other pretty good skill guys as well. So he poses a lot of problems, and they've done a great job of utilizing him to get first downs and open up things for some other people.
What was the best part of your bye week? What were you happiest with from what you guys accomplished last week?
Yeah, I don't know. I told him to come back in the right frame of mind. Here's 3 days. Go be human beings. Get away from it. Go. I encouraged them to watch Texas Tech Saturday at noon, which I would assume a high percentage of them did. Enjoy some time off. Enjoy some family time. Come back ready to work. And had a great day yesterday. Have had a great morning so far this morning. So I would think, probably just the regroup and re-energize morning.
The personality of your team that you mentioned, I understand what your personality is offensively. Much different than what you saw, where some maybe focused a little bit more after having lived in 6 games.
It's kind of been heading that direction. It's no secret that we're going to try to establish the run. That we want to be a little bit more physical up front than what we've been in the past. We've done a pretty good job, in my opinion, of getting the play started in the run game. Haven't done a great job of getting the play started in the pass game, which they have to go hand in hand in order to be able to be a good offensive football team. You got to be able to do both. Whether you focus on one or whether you focus on the other, you got to be able to do both. And we've had a more difficult time in the pass game for a lot of different reasons. And that's not an excuse to not be successful. We got to get better at that, and we focused on it. So inexperienced guys all around, catching balls and running routes and timing with the quarterbacks because the quarterbacks are inexperienced or because we're playing 3 of them or whatever it is. Just got to get better at it and get the play started and be able to take advantage of plays downfield when they crowd the box and take away the
How much does your playbook change depending on which quarterback's in the game? Does it change at all?
It changes a little bit. It changes a little bit. There's certain things that each guy does well, and I'm sure it's going to come up. And it's got to be a point to where it doesn't matter who the guy is. I mean, we got to be able to execute. And we've had enough snaps with each of them to be able to know what they do well and what they don't do well, to where everybody else around them's got to identify that and execute the play that's called. What we're going through, which is unfortunate at the quarterback spot, a lot of other teams are going through it as well. It's happened at Texas, it's happened at Texas Tech, it's happened at Kansas State, it's happened at Oklahoma State, it's happened at Oklahoma. I mean, everybody else is dealing with the same thing, and nobody can use that as an excuse not to be successful. So we've got 3 quarterbacks that we can put out there and we can play. And regardless of which one we do it with, we got to be able to execute plays based on what play is called, and that's what the job of everybody else around the quarterback is. Would I prefer it to be different? Absolutely. And so would everybody else in the Big 12. If you look at the top teams in the country, I mean, the top 10 or so teams in the country all have very solid quarterback play with one quarterback. That's the way it was in the Big 12 last year. Everybody had a solid, seasoned, experienced quarterback, and the offenses were generating a lot more yards and points last year than they are this year. It's just the way it is, and everybody, including myself, is going to deal with it.
So how did your injured quarterbacks fare on Monday?
Good. I thought, the week off really did Clint well. Paul is doing the same thing that he's done each and every week. It does what we ask of him, and has been healthy and has been doing a good job. Ford probably got a lot more work last week than this week. Probably took a little bit of a toll on him, and he's got to do a little bit better.
And for a guy that grew up in the pass game and being successful at it, whether it be with assistant coach or head coach, you have to feel like a marathoner being asked to sprint like that, or vice versa maybe, a sprinter being asked to run marathon. You obviously can't sprint without your pass game succeeding like that. What is the personal feeling about not having been able to crank it up the way you want it?
I deal with it, I guess. I mean, what am I going to do about it? It's challenging. Saw it coming, so we've kind of geared what we've done a little bit to try to overcome it a little bit, which I think we have in certain situations. Not enough to win the 3 games that we lost against 3 pretty good teams. But just gotta, and it's something I've had this talk with the offensive coaches. I've had this talk with the offensive staff, players over here. Is don't lose sight of who we are, and the biggest thing is just trying to get better at something each and every day. Don't get discouraged by it. Just work hard at it and keep your confidence high and get out there and keep doing it. And eventually, it's going to be a little bit better and a little bit easier. I'm telling you, it's so hard for a new quarterback to throw to new receivers. It just really is, and we got so much inexperience at each position. It just doesn't look good at times. But it'll get better, and it has gotten better, and it will continue to get better over the next 6 weeks.
And your third down numbers, conversions on offense are great.
Atrocious.
Okay, good word. Obviously it's a third down thing, but are you looking at first and second down to make those easier? Because it doesn't seem like you've been able to do what you want to do to set up good third downs.
It's part of it, and our offensive philosophy is, regardless if it's third and short or third and long, we got things in the playbook that we can call to be able to convert that. But that's defense does different things on third down, which poses a lot of problems for offense. Texas Tech does a good job on third down. They're getting off the field 72% of the time. I mean, that's pretty good. Defenses change what they do. Offenses need to be able to adjust to that. We're still trying to figure out how to do things well. as opposed to you getting to a point offensively where you're not trying to figure out how to do things well. You're trying to really focus on what the defense is and how to attack it, and attack it successfully. So, you know, with an average offense and a lot of inexperience at key positions, it's tough to get first downs on 2nd and 5, let alone 3rd and 5. So it's all part of the process, and it's all part of just gaining experience and gaining knowledge and getting good at what we're asking them to do.
Is that similar to what you mentioned about a minute ago? That's a different philosophical thing for this year. That's part of this whole
Yeah.
challenge you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, and there's that, you know, we tell them to be aware of the situations and know what to expect, and we're going to prepare them for those situations and prepare them to know what to expect on the specific 3rd downs. But you know, when you're having a hard time executing things on 1st and 10, it's a lot harder on 3rd and 10. So you just got to get good at making routine plays. You got to get good at just simple execution of what the play is, and try to put the ball in play and get positive yards. The more success you have doing that, you'd be surprised how many routine plays turn into bigger plays. You know, and just making a guy miss here or there, and then you're getting first downs on 2nd and 5 as opposed to having to deal with 3rd and 4.
Talk about Mark Lewinsky, his ability to adapt going from junior college to playing at this level.
He's doing well. He's a physical guy. You know, he's come light years in 1 year. Was not ready to play, and he didn't have just a tremendously stellar high school career. I mean, he was a late bloomer and you know, kind of blossomed late, so hasn't been playing O-line since he was, you know, 10. But really with him and a lot of these junior college guys, if you can afford, which is tough because you recruit junior colleges for a reason, but to have junior college guys come in and redshirt, it really does them a lot of good, especially on O-line. And that we're able to do that with Stone as well. So I would anticipate Stone being a productive player for us next year after a redshirt year. If you can afford to do it, it's going to pay off for you. The problem is having the luxury of being able to do it. How many of our other junior college guys were able to redshirt? Not very many of them. You know, so that definitely benefited him.
A little bit about Marvin Kwiatkowski and their situation, and also if they're both healthy, if there's any way you even consider trying to get them on the field at the same time.
Yeah, I would think so. You know, Nick's back. He finally, after how many? What did he miss? 3 games, I guess, or 2 games. He didn't practice last week. He practiced yesterday, so he'll be back in the mix. We'll get him back. You know, he was our most productive linebacker after 3 games, 3-4 games, whatever he played. He was our most productive linebacker, and he's back and will make us better defensively. You know, Jared's a guy that is solid. You know, much like Doug Rigg is, they're both program guys. They're solid. They're going to try hard and be in the right position. You know, Nick's a guy that's made some more dynamic plays. So if he's healthy, he'll be a starter.
Anybody else health-wise? You said Nick's probably going to be back. Anybody else? You talked about the quarterbacks. Any of those others sort of?
Yeah, everybody else is good to go. You know, Ivan's had a head thing for 3 weeks now. I don't know what's going on there, if he's going to be cleared to go or not. I don't get into the whole head thing, concussion thing, obviously. Ricky Rumpf went out of the game against Baylor. He'll be a stretch to play. And then Wes Tonkery's out for about 6 weeks. He's the other long-term guy. Broke his thumb, you know, so he's in a big cast or something. So he's going to be out for about 6 weeks. So he'll be able to be back towards the end of the year. You know, other than that, the long-term guys are all doing well. You know, and everybody else is probably his day to day.
Christian Brown's missed a few games.
Yeah, he I don't remember if I lose track of this stuff, but he's out for the year. He had a weight room injury about 2-3 weeks ago, and you know he's able to use this as his redshirt year. He didn't redshirt as a true freshman. You know, he played in the first couple of games, but how the NCAA works the rule that he'll be able to use this as his redshirt year, so he is after the year.
Talked about new quarterbacks throwing to new receivers. How important is a bye week from that perspective? I mean, were those guys able to get out there and get that timing down, get more work in than maybe they would have in a game week, or did they really take that time completely off?
Well, no, we went out and we practiced on Tuesday and Wednesday. Light practice on Thursday. Not as much practice time as we would have had in a regular game week. You know, plus we were trying to rep a lot of the younger guys, a lot of the scout team guys. You know, so we had some longer practices with those guys. You know, if you get out there and you practice like you're about to prepare for a game, it defeats the purpose of trying to heal up. You know, so you want to get out there and practice 40 hours with them to try to get them better, but at what point does that set you back, and at what point does that defeat the purpose of being able to use the bye week as a re-energy thing? So it's going to take longer than a week to get all these guys on the same page. When you know, nobody's running out of patience more than I am, and I understand people's frustration with it, but you know, we're going to keep plugging along and keep repping them, keep practicing them, and hopefully it gets done pretty quick.
And are you one of the guys who use off weeks for special teams? You really can't do that during the regular season.
It's the same thing. You know, I mean, how much do you want to work on that stuff? You know, we got out there and worked each unit about one day, but how much can you actually get out there and work on it and get accomplished what you want to get accomplished with it? So we didn't work those very much at all.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.